It has long been clear to me that we are teaching the concept of voting wrong, that we are buying into an idea of false hope and optimism that simply exploits people who are voting and is easily exploited by those who want fewer people to vote and fewer votes to be counted. The propaganda around voting is still that of one man or one woman, one vote. Every vote counts and free and fair elections. This is simply not the case. I understand and appreciate the ideal, but reality is simply not aligned with that. From the beginning, there have been widespread and never-ending attempts with some devastating successes to disenfranchise people, often black people. And there was nothing like the sting of reading the words of some of the men who were engaged in this suppression. Nowadays, those who want to suppress votes disguise their motives. But years ago, the motives were well articulated and abundantly clear: to establish white supremacy and disenfranchise the Negro. Now, only the articulation is absent. The results are exactly the same. And even beyond voter suppression, there are errors and incompetence. Machines make mistakes. Election workers make mistakes and make choices. And it can all nullify votes. For instance, an NPR analysis last summer found that 550,000 primary absentee ballots were rejected, and that was up from about 320,000 in 2016. Then there is incompetence, like what we are seeing now in the mayoral primary election in New York City. The result of the tally may well be fine, but the haphazard handling of the vote counting undermines faith in the system. And that is the problem with all of this, maintaining that faith. It seems to me that setting expectations too high actually works against that faith. It helps to undermine it because those expectations will collapse under the weight of reality. It also seems to me that it is much better to think of voting as a nest of ants or a swarm of bees or a brigade of soldiers attacking an enemy. Not everyone will survive, but the point is to achieve victory by overwhelming the enemy. Everyone that falls in the attempt assists the others in prevailing. Not everyone who should be able to cast the vote will be able to cast it. And not every ballot cast will be properly counted. That is just the sad reality of the American electoral system, and conservatives in this country have done their best to maintain or exacerbate that at all costs. Now, you can bristle at this. You should bristle at it. I bristle at it. And liberal groups can fight back through organizing and legislation and courts, but at the same time, you also have to realize that even if you win that battle, it will not stay won. You have to have a new vision of voting, one that factors in the oppression and imposes itself on that system in spite of it. Voters have to be taught to swarm. You can read my full column at nytimes.com, but joining me now to discuss is WNYC politics reporter Brigid Bergin. Brigid, thank you for being up late again tonight with us. So can you please explain to us this mess in New York where the election workers put up some data, they rapidly took it down, and they said there was some sort of discrepancy and no one knows what's going on?
Well, what happened was they reported the primary results when the polls closed a week plus ago, and that was just the first choice votes cast by voters in this new ranked choice primary system. And then a week later, they were going to run the first ranked tally to then show us what the results looked like after you redistributed some of the votes from those low-performing candidates who are eliminated. So we're counting the second through fifth place choices. What happened was, according to the board's explanation, in some of their pre-election testing, they neglected to clear the system and clear the file that's used to do the ranked tally. And so there were about 130,000 essentially dummy votes that were included in this preliminary tally that was then released to the public. And unfortunately, that error was not caught by the board really until people started to ask questions about the numbers. Why was the total number of votes that we saw on primary night so different from the total number of votes that they were basing this new rank tally on? And in addition to that, the rank tally changed the leaderboard. Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams had a 9-point lead on primary night. That lead shrank down to about 2 points. The second place finisher on primary night was Maya Wiley. That flipped so that it was former Sanitation Commissioner Catherine Garcia, and then Maya Wiley was in third place. The board promptly, once they realized their error, pulled the data down, but it took them some time to communicate with the public, with the media, with voters, with candidates about what their next steps were. And so that what happened today is they ran that tally again. We have new results, and interestingly enough, the first, second, and third choices are in some ways very similar to what we saw yesterday, but then the margins are much more narrow.
So let me jump in and ask this question, because New York City's Board of Election can't really get their act together on a regular election without introducing a new system in ranked choice voting. Is it even smart to have these incremental releases? Aren't they setting themselves up for this sort of thing?
Well, that's definitely been a debate. The executive director of the Board of Elections had said in an earlier hearing the board was only going to release the initial primary night results, and then they wouldn't release the results again until they got all the absentee ballots in. One of the concerns there, and certainly I think the pressure that was put on the board by other elected officials, was that would mean we would have a vacuum of time between primary night and then when all the eligible votes would be available. And the reason for that is, because of the way the pandemic, voting during the pandemic last year, we sort of went to this rapid expansion of our absentee ballot system. And there were tens of thousands of absentee ballots that were thrown out for minor technical errors, like people forgot to sign the inner oath envelope. And so the state legislature last session did make some changes. They created what's called a cure process to allow people to make those corrections to prevent themselves from being disenfranchised, but that builds time into the process. Now, that time would have been added to the process with or without ranked choice voting. But we've got these two new systems in place. And as you said, the Board of Elections doesn't exactly have a track record of efficiency and reliability without these changes.
Brigid Bergin, I hope the voters of New York do not lose faith in the system because of the bungling of the Board of Elections in New York City. I thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.